What's up, y'all? Welcome to Sam's Fan Reacts Unfiltered. So most of you have found me because you saw my reaction channel where I do music reactions. But this channel over here is something totally different because I'm more than just a music reactor. This channel over here is where we get down into the crazy, the messy, the nitty gritty of everything. Because me, I'm Gen X. I have an opinion about everything and I need to avoid such opinions, okay? So today, our first episode, we kicking it off with this civil war over here on the conservative side of politics in the U.S., okay? So we even got Alex Jones in this, and it's all against the one and only Candace Owens. Now, I'm going to be real with you. As a Black woman in America, I didn't used to like Candace Owens, okay? I thought she hated Black America. I thought that she hated Black. I thought she hated being Black and a woman. Until I really started listening to her and paying attention to her and the things that she said. And I started like, oh, okay, well, that do make sense. Yeah, that makes sense too. And then it brought me to the conclusion and realization that she didn't hate Black America or Black people or Black women. She just hated the direction that our culture and that we as a people have been going down, which has been orchestrated by others, in her opinion. So today we're going to jump into what I believe is the most common misconception about this civil war. And what I believe we're going to react to the most important video I've seen thus far, and I've watched hundreds about this specific topic. And it's coming from one of my favorite YouTubers, Jesse on Fire. He's very bipartisan in this. He don't pick a side. He really just follow the things that he want to follow. And we're going to listen to Jesse break it down to us in the most understanding way possible. Let's check him out.
Sam's Fan Reacts. Sam's Fan Reacts. Let's start the show.
I have to warn y'all too. He is funny as fuck. Jesse is hilarious too in the meantime, in between time. But let's check out Jesse. Let's go. Take it away, Jesse.
Contribute to this conversation because I didn't have anything to say. That has changed right now because now I recognize what is going on and I have to say something about it because from here it just devolves and it gets worse. And all it is a misunderstanding fundamentally from, I'm pretty sure, every single person who is commenting on this except for Candace. And then no one's like listening to what, well, I don't know. I didn't see her stream last night, but I can tell you what her show is and what it's not and why this entire thing is getting blown out of proportion in a way that is making everything we're trying to do ineffective. Okay.
Here, I agree 100% with that. I feel like everybody is so focused on building brands and careers off of debunking her and debunking Candace that they're not even really listening to what she's really saying. You know, they're not really paying attention to the words that are coming out of her mouth. They're not paying attention to that. They're too busy in the debunking field because that's the popular side to be on right now. You're not getting suppressed. You're not getting jumped in the comments. You're not getting doxxed. You're not getting canceled if you are attacking Candace. But if you are on her side and you're trying to have her back and you're actually like, for real, that do make sense, coming from Candace, then you're like the enemy and they coming for you. So listen to Jesse. He's going to explain it a little bit more. Come on, Jesse.
Here, let me start by saying this. Alex Jones is going full throttle on Candace right now.
Yes.
He's going.
I was so surprised with that one. That was the one that surprised me the most because Alex Jones is like the ultimate conspiracy theorist, right? He is like the biggest conspiracy. He was deplatformed and everything, so he understands the path in which she literally traveled a year ago. And he was her friend, I thought. But to me, it looks like in this movement, you really don't have friends. Like, ain't nobody your friend. You really don't have friends. Like, don't call nobody your friend. Like, don't do that. No.
Hard in the paint. He started off, like he's like, Candace is my friend. I wanted to reach out to her because she's going crazy. She's doing whatever. And bottom line is, even with that, he doesn't understand what Candace's show is and what it's not. Okay.
Right.
Like I said yesterday in my video that I did about the TPUSA financials that Wolves and Finance did, I called this the first ever open source investigation. Okay. And I meant exactly that. Okay. What this is, we never have had the opportunity to get the collective internet, all of the mommy sleuths, all of the men who are interested in the gun stuff, interested in the 30-06 stuff, interested in the lies that this person told, people looking into this string, they pull on this string, they pull on this thing, they pull on this string, they pull on this string, okay? And all of us collectively, we figure out what's real and what's not, okay?
I think that's another reason why people literally just don't know what to do with the information. They don't know what to do with being able to and having to consume so much information from so many different sources at one time. Because we and our brains have been lazy and we have been conditioned to just believe the narrative, believe the official narrative. We depended on the FBI and the CIA and our government to govern us and feed us this information until we found out that all the information they've been feeding us for the past 50 plus years of my life have all been lies and orchestrated, which is the ultimate betrayal. But nevertheless, being that they don't understand how to handle, how to deal with, and how to process so much information, so much vital information coming in at one time, I feel like it's just making people crazy. It's literally making people crazy in their minds. But we're going to let Jesse finish because he explains it a whole lot better than me.
Candace says something on her show or puts someone on her show, and then that tip ends up not being accurate. That doesn't mean anything negative about Candace because that's not her job. Okay. Her job, Candace is the lightning rod magnet of all of the community tips. Okay. Like everyone wants to give her their information, and ultimately what she is doing. I don't even know if this is how she looks at her show, but I know that's how everybody should be looking at it. And it's how I look at it, which is why I couldn't understand why anyone saw what myself or Nate was doing as attacking Candace. I didn't understand. I'm like, what?
I don't understand it. I don't understand it because that's how I thought about it when I first started watching it and started getting into it. I'm like, okay, well, she has a staff of literally 4 people. 4 people. It's 4 of them. Okay. And they're going through tens and thousands of email tips being sent to her. There's not enough time in a day for that. So what does she do? She verifies the ones that seem to be relevant, and she verifies the ones that seem to have some substance, and she throws them out there for the world to do whatever you will with it. Do what you want to do with it. Boom. Let's figure this out. What's wrong with that? Why is that so bad? The fact that some bad actors then got caught up in it and these people need to be protected and these people need to be protected, that's not what the decentralized intelligence agency is for. It's not for protecting people. That's what the FBI and the CIA are for. They're the ones who protect people, not the decentralized intelligence. We figure out what really happened, and we're going to figure out what happened here, one way or the other. But let's continue.
Because the way I see her show is Candace she gets every tip on earth, and she
literally just said that. Literally just said that. Come on, Jesse. What else?
Okay. With the internet, we all have access to all of the evidence, and collectively we can chase down every single lead. Okay. Now you guys know, I don't think that Mitch is real. I think that he's lying. I think he's lying about what he saw. Who cares? That doesn't mean he's lying. Maybe he's telling the truth. It's irrelevant.
Okay. This is where I'm going to have to agree with Jesse. I think that Mitch indeed was there, right? I think he was for sure there because there's no way to debunk the fact that he was there. Too much evidence has came out to show that he was indeed there. I don't think he is mistaken by who he saw, except for maybe Cabot Phillips the night before. Maybe, but even then it still makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the meeting happened. Absolutely. Erica wasn't at the meeting on the 9th. That's what people are getting things mixed up. He said he saw Erica on the 8th at the hotel that was on site or at the fort or whatever on Fort Huachuca with Cabot Phillips, who had this crazy alibi. Candace accepts it. I don't. Moving on. If Mitch was fake, if Mitch was a plant, right? Too many different variables would have had to come into play in order for Mitch's being a plant to succeed. For example, this meeting at Fort Huachuca, that was before Charlie Kirk got killed, which means that was before Candace was on the investigation, right? So they would have had to predict that Candace was going to get access to Mitch and get access to the information in his head that happened before the investigation. They would have had to been able to predict that this was going to happen. That's impossible to predict because when Candace do things, she throw out so many different theories, so many different directions. That's impossible to predict as to being verifiable proof that we can put this man in here and he can be a plant. I just don't see it. I can't see that. I just don't see it. I don't see him being a plant. His past, yeah, he got a shady past per se, but what does that have to do with him being there? Absolutely nothing. What this man did 25, 30 years ago don't have nothing to do with what his eyes saw the day before Charlie Kirk got shot. And that's what people are failing to realize. You don't just discredit one person's entire everything because they get a shady past. If that's the case, you have to discredit everything that comes out of Tyler Boyer's mouth because his whole entire past screams, I hitched my wagon to Charlie, came up, and now I'm taking everything. Even in the phone conversation or the recording that was leaked on X about him saying, not even 10 days later after Charlie was killed, he telling people how he got big and he's the one running everything at TPUSA and he's the man and he's not scared to go in any room and talk to anybody. And you add that along with Woes and Finances video that he did, which goes through Tyler Boyer's finances, which were in a ruckus. He was in debt. And next thing you know, he hits his horse to Charlie. And boom, there you go. He's putting $650,000 down in cash on a mansion with 5 lots of land. No. So to bring it all back in, you cannot sit here and just try to debunk everything Candace is saying because it's Candace Owens. You just can't. And so many creators who truly, truly, truly want to find out what happened, they know this and understand this. And they're not on the take. They're not getting $5K or what is it, like the $7,000 an episode to debunk Candace. But come on, Jesse.
Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm one person. Okay, so if I think he's lying, then I'm going to do what? I'm going to go focus on the 30-06 rounds and I'll chase that down. There's a million of us, dude. There's a million of us. We don't all need to, like, it's like whether he was there, not there, whether he saw what he saw, any of those things, none of it matters as long as someone who is doing the right thing is looking into it. As long as someone's looking into it, go chase down their alibis, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you believe that he was really, then you guys take it on, do your part, and go chase down his alibi. Chase down, Brian Harpole and Erica's alibis. That's your job then. Okay.
And that's what they have been doing. That's what's been happening. And because it's Erica and she's the grieving widow, that even though she's not acting like a grieving widow, but even though she's the grieving widow, she's not supposed to be questioned. Brian Harpole, since Charlie trusted him, he's not supposed to be questioned. And that makes absolutely no sense. And that is absolutely not how investigations work. And damn sure not how Candace's investigation work. But let's let Jesse finish up here.
Okay. So if she's waking up there on the 9th, she should probably be able to easily show where she was on the 8th. So just provide it. We're done. It's over. That's the end of all of it. Or if you can't, then, the people who think that this guy Mitch is credible, they could continue to chase down whatever they think comes from this, right? But this is how this needs to go. This is how the investigation goes. Candace is not responsible for every single thing that she puts on her show being accurate. That's not what she does. That's why people who watch it, they're like, she's never even saying anything. She's not even saying what her theory is. That's exactly right. She is the central point of an open source investigation. She is putting on her platform what the clues are, and then we go chase them down. Okay? She has a tip line that is getting thousands of tips a day.
Right.
Okay. Do you really think that they can simultaneously vet every single one of these and then also like chase it down with the surgical precision that like other people can, if this is the only thing that they're focused on is like this one clue.
This is where I feel like the common sense on the right is just not common. It's either that or they're just determined to take this girl down because she is indeed onto something. Me personally, I believe she's onto something, because the minute she started talking about these Egyptian planes and the minute she started talking about Fort Huachuca, all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. And you have to ask yourself, why? You know, it makes you question them and ask why.
I can't listen to Alex Jones.
We're going to let just if you would listen to how Alex Jones went crazy on her, it's kind of heartbreaking. You know how like you get into it with your family members and y'all get the beefing or whatever. That's one thing. But for them to do it publicly on the internet and bring others into it against you, that's a whole different set of hurt. I cannot imagine the hurt that Candace is feeling along with the anger and rage. But to me, it's only going to fuel her ambition for really finding out who's at the bottom of this. Who is really doing this and why? You know what I'm saying? Why is this campaign to take her down so hard? And why is it so fast? And why is it hitting from every single direction? Okay. But my thing is, Fort Huachuca is important and them Egyptian planes is important. And the reason for me making this video as my first video, as of now, y'all see, I am Team Candace. But more so than anything, I am team truly finding out who had the balls to unalive someone in broad daylight on American soil in front of the entire world. And why? Why Charlie Kirk? Why did this happen? Why would they even traumatize us in such fashion? Comment down below what you think. Are you Team Candace or Team Alex? Let me know in the comments below. Check it later. Until next time, or our next episode. Bye.